Hi, Collective. It is Intuitive Pisces Moon, and I am here to bring you a self-care reading. I hope you are all doing well today. So let's jump right in and see what we have going. All right. I am going to start with the Green Witch's Oracle, and we'll take that as a base. We'll see how we're doing. All right. Spirit, what do we have for the collective for our self-care currently? What do we need to know? What's in our presence? What's in our energy? What is happening? Okay. First one is roots, healthy patterns, and early growth. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. All right. Let's see what else. What else do we have for the collective for our self-care? All right, basil. Prosperity, luck, and love. I love it. Let's scoot these up a little more. I don't know how much room we're going to need at the bottom. All right, what else, Spirit, please? What else do we have for the collective for self-care? All right, we have planning, setting intentions, and optimism. I love it. Let's get one more, please. Spirit, for the collective. What do we have for our self-care that we need to know about? All right, we have mortar and pestle. Integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. All right, that's beautiful. All right, let's read a little bit on these. This is the only deck. Nope, I take that back. I have 2 decks I'm going to read from today. The rest will be more interpretation. So let's take a look first at roots. Okay, roots stands for healthy patterns and early growth. Roots create a foundation, giving a plant stability and strength. Twining deep throughout the soil, they are both anchors and explorers, seeking water and nutrients to feed the plant. Roots expand and divide, creating beautiful natural patterns. The Roots card reminds you to make sure that your project has good roots. Don't race through the early stage of creation. If you ensure a healthy foundation in the early stages, your project will have a better chance of success. Like a strong root system that will support and nourish a plant, it's important to establish routines and healthy patterns you can rely on when life gets chaotic. A reliable foundation will bring you confidence and reduce pressure in times of stress. And then there is a reflection that you can do, maybe if it's in your journal. Do you need to go back to the foundations of something to examine them and perhaps reinforce them? Okay, so very important. I don't know if any of you do any planting of any sort, but one of the most vital stages in the early process is making sure that those roots are planted firmly, and that is a make or break moment. Okay, so we have to kind of nurture it and almost baby it. Same with the sow phase. These are very similar. Okay, we have to make sure that everything is strong in the early growth process. So let's switch up to the tarot on this one and see if we can get some further clarification on our roots. Okay, we have the 9 of Swords. All right. Let's get a couple more. Wheel of Fortune. And one more for this, please. There we go. Page of Pentacles. Okay. So when that first card came out, my first thought was, oh boy. And then the rest came out. So let's analyze, because they all do work together in a symbiotic way. Now, some of us might be worried about something, okay? Maybe even putting us into anxiety over, again, what we're cultivating, what we're rooting. But with the Page of Hazards and the Wheel of Fortune, this is us understanding that this is fresh and this is new, and that we don't need to be worried about what's growing and what's cultivating, because we have luck on our side. It's not just luck, but it's the support of the universe. It's also your good karma coming back to you, okay? So, whatever it is that you are growing in your life, whether it's a new relationship, a new business, new job, some sort of project, an art project, a music project, anything that you're in the midst of planning and growing, it's going to be successful. Okay, so you don't need to worry so much about it. It's okay that this is something that you haven't delved into before, because you are being supported heavily by the universe. Okay, so that's what this is saying. All right. And I'm going to jump over to the next one before we kind of come back with the other decks. And the next one we have is basil, which stands for prosperity, luck, and love. Basil is one of the most versatile herbs in a green witch's toolkit. Full of positive energy, it can draw good things into your life. Basil has been known to dispel fear, confusion, or any weakness, and has even used as an aromatic by ancient Greeks to attract love. In this way, basil is all about forward movement. The basil card tells you that the time is right for something that you may have been hesitant about in the past. The time for planning and preparing is over. Go forth with confidence. It's an auspicious time. This is a great moment to indulge in love or take a risk. Basil has your back and luck is on your side. And then your reflection is, have you been scared to take a leap or risk that may pay off greatly? Okay. I feel, again, that very much ties in with what I was saying over here. Some of us have been sort of anxious about something, but, the universe has our back and luck favors us at this time. So we now have two cards that mimic that notion. Okay. So let's pull some tarot on this pile. All right, what do we have to go with the basil? There we go, first one out. 7 of Wands. Okay, and let's get some more. All right, then we have the King of Wands and the 5 of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about these briefly. So let's see here. We have, some of us are stepping into a leadership role, and that can be scary. Okay? Some of us are having to defend our position in whatever it is that we're getting into, and maybe even be sad at losing something. We could be in this process losing friendships. We could be losing relationships. Something may be exiting our lives. But here's the situation with that. Even though that may make us emotional, we have everything that it takes to step into this leadership role. We have the confidence, we have the strength, and gumption is even coming out. So don't be afraid to be a leader in something, okay? And I know that that can be a scary thing. But having to defend your position is going to make some people drop out of your life. And that's okay, because you are meant for greatness. You are meant to be a leader in something. So as you are cultivating your roots, know that no matter what occurs and things that are lost and dropping out of your life, again, you are supported by the universe. You are destined for luck, love, prosperity, and good fortune. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest part, is kind of, again, the dealing with the emotional aspect of things leaving your life. Now, I don't know what is having to be left in your life. In this card, they're in a cemetery. So It could be things of that nature, all right? But part of it could also be just you defending your position. Some of you are just saying, you know what? I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up for what my beliefs are. I am going to go choose my own path and start rooting myself elsewhere. And that can be a very emotional time. Okay. But with this King of Wands, you are destined to be a leader and to stand up. All right. Now, here you have two people holding this wand, and you're leading something. You're standing up and saying, I'm defending my right for something. And even if that means having to be defensive against someone else, you're taking that role. All right, that's beautiful. So let's get over to sow. Let's see what we're sowing. Sowing stands for planning, setting intentions, and optimism. Seeds may be the nebulous concept and soil the fertile ground to nourish them, but the act of sowing is what unites the two and initializes the process of germination. When you sow seeds, you scatter them in or on the earth, asking the soil to help them grow. For a time, the seeds have to remain quiet underground before they can launch into the world. This dormancy allows them the opportunity to gather strength. The sow card tells you that now is the optimal time to set things in motion. Plant your seeds and nurture them. Lock in your intentions and take the first steps along the path that you've planned. Act now for future yield. Prime your material and environment for the best outcome. If you've been hesitating, now is the time to act. Your reflection is, are you ready to start something new? Okay, I love this. So, again, that dark period can be scary because you don't know what's occurring because it's dark. But you're having the trust in knowing that, you planted the seeds, you nurtured it, it's going to grow. I also relate this with the lotus flower. So the lotus flower does the same thing. It hides underneath in the muck, in the dark, murky waters, and trusts that it is growing until it gets up to the surface and blooms into the sunlight. All right. So think about this as growing in adversity. All right. Things have been dark, and we all have had to experience kind of that dark period in order to bloom. So that's what I'm gathering with this. All right, let's get some tarot on this. What do we have to go with this sow card? All right, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Lover's card. And let's get one more, please. The Emperor. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's take a look and see how we can analyze this, because this can be interpreted in many ways. My first thought before I saw these two cards was with this one, in our darkness, we have had to balance and juggle things. So this can actually mean that, let's just say we lost a job and our finances have been very tight. We've had to kind of tighten our belts and, tighten our wallets, if you want to go there, and juggle finances to say that, okay, if I don't have any income coming in at the moment, how can I restrict other things so that I can still pay my bills and do what I need to do? Okay. This could also be balancing emotions, I don't want to go with people, but here we do have the Lovers and the Emperor. The Lovers does involve a choice. So this could be something that maybe there were two choices you had in a love situation and you've had to decide which way to go. Okay. Now, with the Emperor being here, this could be you as a masculine energy, or this could be you as a feminine deciding on an Emperor energy. So take it as it resonates. If this situation for you is a relationship based or love reading, it can definitely be construed that way. So the other way that I'm seeing this is that if in the past you were involved in some third party situation, okay, that involved being juggled or juggling two options, we're now coming out of that and making a choice, okay? So I don't want to assume anything about anybody's situation, because if it's not a love situation that you're here for, this can also be, let's just say, a job or a business, okay? If you were deciding between something that was, your 9 to 5. I'm actually looking at this card, and they are in, it looks like some kind of chemist lab, which means this man is at work. Okay, so that could be his just standard 9 to 5 job, and you felt chained to your desk. You felt like you were just a slave to the grind, is what I'm gathering. What your choice could have been was, do I want to continue doing this knowing that it's not making me happy? Or do I want to venture out on my own? Do I want to start my own business? Do I want to go work for somebody that is doing something that I love and that's also going to bring me money? And where the Emperor can come in that situation is, again, you coming more into your masculine energy and being authoritative and going out and getting what it is that you desire. So however this reading relates to you, whether this is a love situation or, I'm gathering more job / starting your own business. And again, when we are going out and starting our own business, that can be a scary process because we're planting seeds and we're waiting for them to grow. And that can be a very uncertain time. And again, some of us may even be in a slightly anxious state of mind, worrying about whether this is going to come to fruition or not. All right. So take it as it resonates, whether for you it's the job type of thing or more relationship based. Okay. All right. Let's get over to mortar and pestle. And this stands for integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. The goals of the mortar and pestle are twofold. First, to reduce the size of something, and then to combine ingredients. In a spell, in order to evenly combine your components, you need to break them down into smaller parts. The grinding motion used with a mortar and pestle can appear aggressive, and applying too much force can make your ingredients fly everywhere. Use finesse. Be gentle but thorough. Take the time to blend things evenly. This card tells you that something in your life needs to be better incorporated. It could be as simple as integrating your practice into daily life, or something more complex, like finding balance between two relationships. Whatever it is, take it slow, or you'll scatter what you're trying to integrate. So the reflection is, what parts of your life do you need to blend more seamlessly? Okay, I love it. So for that, again, we did kind of talk about whether it is a job or a relationship, but now that this came out and said balance between two relationships, it could be both for a lot of you. So some of us are trying to find, how can we balance our love relationship with our, business-minded relationship. So having to find the balance of the two can be a difficult, stressful time. So I find that beautiful because we're putting the deep thought into both, and we're not just throwing one on the back burner and saying, I choose this and I'm going to let the other thing go to the wayside. Okay. We're actually putting the thought in and integrating something and wanting things to be evenly balanced so that one is not getting less than the other. Okay. All right, let's get some tarot on this pile. What do we have for this mortar and pestle? All right, justice. Perfect. Look at that. There's the balancing scales right there. Exactly. All right, we have the Page of Swords. And we have the Page of Cups. All right, so we have 3 pages on the table now. So This to me again tells me that we are in somewhat unfamiliar territory, okay? We are in a place where in the past it likely was an unbalanced situation. So let's look at these because I'm seeing this exactly the way that this is playing out. In the Justice card, we have the brain and we have the heart. And I feel like that is just a human constant struggle. We are always in this place of how do we balance our heart from our heads, okay? We are new now at this, so that's where the page energy comes from. We are starting kind of from scratch. Maybe in the past we were more business-minded and less heart-focused, or more heart-focused and less business-minded. So we are now finding that balanced place, even if it means, we're new at this, and that's okay. We're prepared to fully integrate in how can we balance our hearts from our heads. And again, this could be a relationship and our business, okay? So I just find this to be completely beautiful because we're putting the deep thought into it. And knowing that it's okay that we don't fully know exactly what to do at the beginning of it. So this is where we're in the kind of dark period, waiting to see what's growing, waiting to see what's rooting, okay? But also trust that you're being smiled on from the universe. Fortune favors you. Luck favors you. Prosperity favors you. So it doesn't matter what ultimately you end up doing with this, it's going to work out no matter what. Even if you struggle a little at first. So again, imagine these scales. Right now it says the brain's heavier, the heart's lighter. There may be times where you kind of see it go one way or the other as you're figuring this out. But again, have compassion for yourself because this is new to you and not just you. Excuse me, sorry about that. This is not just new to you. This is new to all of us. Almost no human being out there can say honestly to themselves, I have a perfect balance of head and heart, and I know exactly what to do, and I'm good at this. All of us are figuring this out. So I also want you to realize that if you are getting into some relationship, to have compassion for another person as well, okay? As we ourselves are learning how to do this, so is everybody else. And not everybody is going to jump right in and be perfect at it right off the bat. Okay? So if you focus a little more today on your business, maybe tomorrow focus more on your heart. And then eventually you'll get to a place where you're finding it that, okay, I can now balance the two evenly as best as I can, even if that means some days my relationship might need a little more work. And yes, that means I've got to put my business a little on the back burner. Then it's going to flip. And some days your business is going to need more attention and your relationship might go on the back burner. Okay? Now, I'm also gathering that with some of you, you might be getting into a business with a partner. That could be a stressor on its own. So again, take it in strides, understand that we're all new at this, and to have compassion for yourself and for others during this process. Okay? All right, I want to get into the Spirit Allies deck and see what we have to go along with this reading. Oh, there's the first one. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Yep, we got these two. Look at that, the lotus flower, the frog, cannabis. I'm glad I mentioned the lotus because there it is. All right, we got hummingbird. We got Libra with those scales again. I love it. And there's the last one. Okay. Which is cacao. Cacao. Okay. I'm going to read on these. Because again, this is a newer deck for me. I'm not as familiar. So with the Libra deck, I generally don't integrate your signs into a reading. But if this is for you, there could be a Libra involved in this. Now, we could also get into like Aries being here, Gemini being here, but I'm not going to do that unless you feel that you need it. Those are the signs that I see here, okay? Libra stands for I am balanced. Sitting at the crossroads, Libra weighs their options diligently. They are in no rush. They understand the beauty that could come from going both ways. Harmony is the key here, and Libra works to ensure that they make decisions that tip the scales in their favor. The beauty of Libra is a reminder of how important creating balance in life. Libra understands that it's not all work and no play, but rather a mixture of work, play, rest, and rejuvenation. Libra is here to encourage you to take inventory of your life and identify the areas that need rebalancing. Success isn't so sweet or worth celebrating if it leads to burnout. Focus on living a life that brings happiness to you. In true Libra fashion, seek out what levels your scales and connects you to your higher self. So there is a journal prompt. What can I incorporate into my life to create sustainable balance? All right. Very beautiful. So again, we have 2 cards now that show this balancing of the scales. So definitely something that we're figuring out as we go. And Libra very much does tend to lean into that. All right, let's get to this cacao. I am free to enjoy life's luxuries. Even though cacao has a royal history, not all of life's pleasures need to be pricey. This plant is a reminder of how even the simplest of moments can offer morsels of lavish and luxury. A night spent at home, bundled up with a steaming cup of hot chocolate and your favorite book, is sometimes even more enjoyable than spending your night in a dimly lit restaurant. Invite these sweet moments into your life, or better yet, find excuses to make them a priority. You live in this lifetime once. Have dessert first. Your journal prompt, how can I work more simple pleasures into my daily life? All right, I'm going to go read the cannabis one. I honor myself and put my needs first. The universe recognizes how hard you're working right now, but is urging you to take a moment for yourself to relax and connect with your higher self. It's a great moment to ask yourself, am I on my highest path? Cannabis draws your attention to the magnificence of pure awareness and presence so that you can see and feel what's really your truth. Slow down and enjoy a moment of peace, sip from the well of spirit, and replenish your soul. Take care of yourself holistically so that you can thrive. Your journal prompt, what are a few things that I can do to help me relax through the day? All right. I am going to do the Blue Lotus next. I am open to the teachings of the divine. This flower invites you to open and activate your pineal gland to the realms beyond this 3D world. Expand your mind and reach beyond its grasp. You know that there is so much more to life and our world than meets the eye. Take time to explore yourself as a creator being, as consciousness embodied. Spend time focused on the soul-connecting practices that call to you. They may be as simple as meditation or breath work, or something unique that feels perfect for you. Embrace the truth that it's possible to be fully aware, awakened, and enlightened. Trust your intuition and your power. Your journal prompt, what spiritual practices have you been curious about lately? All right, let's get over to Frog. I embrace my evolution. Frog knows that you two have learned many lessons, but it is time for you to emerge as the embodiment of your whole self, representing fertility and the abundance that life can offer. Frog encourages you to bask in the brightness of your own soul. You are full of unique life experiences, so take a moment to embrace your authentic self and leave any expectations from others go fluttering by without attaching to them. You have transformed beautifully into who you are meant to be. Welcome the ripe fruit of life and your next steps with confidence. Your journal prompt, what has been the most powerful lesson that you have learned thus far? Okay. And last one, let's get over to Hummingbird. I am happy. Hummingbird has appeared to remind you that you hold the keys to your happiness. You can train yourself to stay focused on what you want to be experiencing and hold a vision of your ideal reality, which really can and will become your true reality. So be sure to stay focused on sweet things if you want to be experiencing a sweet reality. Hummingbird raises your vibration and elevates your mood so that you can remain in gratitude and feel empowered while walking the path to become your most magical self. If there have been hard times recently, Hummingbird has arrived to show you the suffering will now subside. Your journal prompt: what additional blessings and sweet things do you want to focus on calling into your world? All right, beautiful. Because again, we did have luck, love, prosperity, wheel of fortune. You're calling this in now, okay? And this did come after a period of darkness, all right? So we have the frog, which goes through a giant transformation. It starts as a little tadpole with no arms or legs, just a tail, and evolves into this frog. It's like almost a totally different creature. Same with the lotus, okay? The blue lotus specifically is a very spiritual flower. All right. So I did explain how it kind of comes up through the muck in uncertain times. And again, just beautiful energy. So I want to close this reading with some self-care oracle. So let's see what we can do to do for ourselves during this time. So we got a bunch that came out. You can use your hands. So some of us may be getting into pottery. Okay, using your hands can mean anything. It could actually be any type of artistic endeavor. So painting, drawing, creating crafts, making jewelry, anything kind of along those lines. We have clear your energy field. Yep, that is absolutely necessary. And with this, they're using a sage bundle. So that's what this is right here. That's my sage bundle. I do that before every single reading. So definitely highly recommend that. And even doing it on a daily basis, okay? We have music. Some of us enjoy music, and this is something that we can do ourselves, even with just a drum. Or just go and enjoy your favorite artist or your favorite song, you know? Get into the rhythm and dance even. All right? We have family. So some of us are being called to connect deeper to family. And again, this is just bringing us closer to our tribe, all right? And we got hydrate, definitely important. So drink more water. That is your advice for this. Now, we also have 2 water elements here. And, you know, that could also be connecting to water. So yes, we're drinking it, we're hydrating, but you may also be called to go near water, and that helps replenish you as well. All right. So that is your reading for today. I find this to be so beautiful because, again, we are finding that balance. Balance is everything. I know the last reading I just did, we did a mind, body, spirit, and balance was in that one too. So balance is the key to accomplishing what it is that we need to accomplish. And also just trusting that the universe is working with us so that we can get out of this anxiety and the worry of what's going to grow. Okay? So thank you all so much for being here. I do enjoy the energy exchange, and I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and as always, love. Make sure you're filling your own cup up before you're filling someone else's up. That's that self-love, that self-care, very important, okay? And keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light, here to help guide you through the darkness, all right? So take care, everyone, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.